All right, welcome to another Hyperspace League match between Stephen Coverler and myself. The date is April, I want to say we're probably in the 14th, 2019, so you can match it up against your current meta. Stephen is flying a 3 Jedi uh, uh, Republic list with Ahsoka, 2 Jedi Knights, all with Delta B, all with R4, and all with Stealth Device. I'm running a Poe list with Lulo and Talli. I'm also using Bastian. He's the level 2 X-wing that, or the Initiative 2 X-wing or T-70 that allows you to take a target lock after a ship at range 1 to 2 has been damaged. Lulo and Talli have heroic on them. And Poe is fairly tricked out. He was gonna have the heavy laser cannon, heroic, the R4, the R2, the astromech that makes your 2 turns blue, I believe. And let's see. Oh, he has a title on him. That's gonna come into play a little bit here. I'm gonna forget I have that, but otherwise, a pretty decent setup. I know Steven's list is fairly maneuverable. He's at initiative 3, though, so I have somewhat of an advantage on him that most of my list is out initiatives him. But he's fairly maneuverable, and I'm going to have to take that into consideration when I'm setting up to try to trap him and shoot him. We were talking about the match before the game, and he likes it a lot as like something reminiscent of his old defender list, which it is a lot. You have a lot of dice, you have a lot of hit points, and you have a lot of firepower. You have a lot of action economy, so very cool. The initiative part is the only part that's gonna make this list difficult to fly. Although we uh, uh, went back and forth, and it is it's a pretty good list. Um, I'm set up here. My idea is that either he's going to turn up the board and that he's going to meet probably Bastion and my 2 A wings, or he's going to come straight down the board. I'm going to try to get an initial joust with him with Poe, push past him, and then trap him in with my 2 A wings. Um, that's the idea. Of course, all ideas kind of go out the window when you start playing. So we're entering into round 1 here. Bastion goes first, so. Steven's on the left-hand side of the board. I'm on the right-hand side of the board. I'm starting to use these little score counters, so if I don't do commentary, people can kind of see what the score is, or if they don't want to listen to it and they just want to have it on in the background, they can glance over and see what the score is. I came out with a 2 bank with Bastion and then boosted up to kind of give me a position to either shoot in straight into that gap or turn in if I need to. Steven is going to blow in here with a 5 straight on all 3 and then boost. It's going to give him, he's going to use his force. The Jedi Knights only have 1 uh, force power, and that's going to be difficult considering you can use them all the time. And so only having 1's tough. Ahsoka's there to give you some action economy if you want it. She has 2, but you're going to see throughout the game he's going to use that force a lot to maneuver. So he's rarely going to have it when shots come in. I think both of our dice do fairly well in this game, so modifications probably aren't all that necessary. Still a consideration in the game.
Yeah, but I could definitely see taking that one sassy Tim, I think it's called.
I came out here. I believe those are 5 straights of my A wings. That was again. I want to position fast. I want to engage and move past as soon as I can with the A wings. Um, and so if he was coming down the side, I wanted in 2 or 3 turns to have the first engage, maybe at range 3, and then as fast as I can push past those. I'm going to mispronounce those Jedi. I'm going to mispronounce the name of that ship every time. So I'm going to push past the Jedi's. At initiative 3, it's a little easier to do. Also, their dial is fast. It's not slow like the X-wing. So the ship plays a lot like an X-wing, except that dial is very fast. So Poe here, I was debating a lot with him. So I'm going to 3 turn up, and as you can see, that's going to give us a shot right now if I boost. So that was kind of the thought process. Is like,
Or even like
can
a
I
delta
get one shot? I would exchange
blue,
one
like
shot because
a
I can maneuver
arc.
afterwards. Pose very maneuverable.
His
So
rank was, I think, lost some
I was going to take the gamble. This game has a lot of gambles in it. Actually, I take about 3 or 4, and most of them work for me. Not all of them do. And that's kind of the difference in the game is where we gamble and if they paid off. And that's kind of a cool thing to watch as the game unfolds. Here I'm going to boost, and then I take the target lock merely to see who's going to be shooting at me. Um, we're going to call that bottom Jedi out, even though it's really close. I check it. He says he thinks it's out when he goes to shoot later. We bump the chips a little bit, and then it's out. So it's kind of hard to say if it would or wouldn't have been. But either way,
action. You may spin charge to perform a white
see if I
action
would
to
have dropped
redirect
that
focus.
down, it's hard to know if it would have been touching in the right spots or not. It was really close at range 3. I'm going to lose this exchange badly. He's actually going to get half points on me immediately in this first shot here. I'm going to roll hit and like a focus and a blank, and I think I re-roll those into like 2 blanks or something like that with a target lock. And then he's going to roll natties on defense and offense.
Okay, so let's just double check to make sure this guy doesn't have.
I see you bump a little bit there.
I think he's out. Yep.
Those are natty 3 hits. I'm going to roll 3 dice. I roll 2 focuses and a blank. So on a 7 dice ship, that is points immediately.
Yep. And pretty sure
Or on a 7 hit point ship, that is half immediately because you go. It's if it's not an even number, if it's not a number, it rounds up. So on everything, and so it's half on Poe on the first shot. Entering into the second round, Bastian 2 turns in to position himself. I was anticipating a joust here. I thought I contemplated that both of us would be able to see that Poe probably could get out of this if he if he worked at it right. Steven's going to set up a good trap here. He's going to 2 straight, and he's going to barrel roll with his force ability, and then he's going to use his focus. And then he's going to use Ahsoka's ability also to not only have everyone focus, but that bottom one that's probably going to have the best opportunity to shoot, to have a target lock and focus, which is gonna come into play here. I set up Bastion and my 2 A wings in an area where I anticipated him maybe coming in for the joust. I thought he saw that Poe was already half damaged, and that he would come in because he knew Poe would probably get away to start working on another one. And we talked about this after this. I think this is a smart play by him, to go for the trap.
no, actually,
But it's hard to say if the joust would have been any better for him. I'm going to point out here, with Poe, I contemplated a 3 straight or a 2 turn out, and I thought, a 3 straight might be the easiest thing for him to block. The 2 turn didn't put me nearly where I thought it was going to put me. Um, but still, it gave me the opportunity to get out. One thing I keep forgetting in this game, and I misuse it every single time, is Poe's Black One title. It's very good. It's a one-time use, and I forgot to use it probably 3 or 4 times in this game. And the one time I was contemplating using it, I didn't, and I probably should have.
You try to play a little weird with him, but I think I'll take the focus.
My A-wings aren't in the best position. I banked them in, trying to work that rock in front of me.
I think I'll
I was anticipating a little bit faster move out of the Jedi's,
Oh,
but it doesn't put me in a
so I
bad
was
mood
thinking
for the
about
next
when I'm
next few
here
turns.
sometime in the next couple days, swinging by
Again, I'm managing that range
obstacle or
3
something like that,
engage, and the range 1 and
bringing up
2, the
the new
second engage at the combat is really kind of where you're going to make your money most times. The
preference.
gamble's not the range
I'm
3,
gonna do
like
the same.
whose dice are going to roll the
Other
best or whatever it is.
styles,
Always play
you can do it
defensive.
that way. You don't have
But
to.
when you force the
Yeah, that'd be
bumps
helpful. I gotta print a lot of stuff for
and
that
the
thing.
loss
Yeah,
of
I'll get it
actions,
printed
and you have
out.
the
I'll
low
put it in my little
PS and things
plastic
like that,
sleeve
that's
so I
kind of
can carry it
where
with me.
you can win or lose a lot of games. A 2 turn out here. So I contemplated, maybe if I could bank up. I didn't think I'd make a bank,
Is that clear space
a
okay?
It does.
boost
Yeah, I got the
into
R.
the Jedi and then barrel roll
Oh, okay.
out. I completely forgot that I had that Black One title. Again, I haven't played Poe very much at all. I mean, this might be the second game I've ever played with him, but that I could have boosted and then slammed up would have got me out of range there, but
There's just really no good.
I didn't. I boost here straight and then I take a
Well, if I
focus, so
can
I'm only
if I
taking
can
one
boost him,
shot. But
I
it's a
can
double
barrel
modded
roll
shot, and
out.
that's what's going to be difficult.
Yeah, but the problem is I think that'll put you out of a shot, which.
I don't want a shot. I don't want to die currently. My current predicament is. I think it's too far. I think I just got to boost straight.
So
Yeah, I'm assuming stressing into a barrel roll.
I was thinking I still can't. I can't get out of your arcade if I do. I think I need
so
to.
there is the boost. I'm gonna take the stress for the focus. I was, thinking about things like a barrel rollout, maybe
I would
get farther
say
away from
go for a
range.
Yeah.
Range 1 if I could, maybe get into range 2, things like that. I have 4 hit
Definitely enough
points, and
shot.
so
Yeah, I was hoping to
an unlucky
like be able
crit
to
can kill
barrel roll
me.
and then boost
So
out, but like
Well, I
take all
think
those
if
things into
you'd done
considerations.
that, you could have barreled this way,
I'm not gonna
and
have a
that would have
whole
put you
lot
out.
of shooting to be able to do this round, so I
yeah,
definitely did
yeah.
not set
I
up
didn't
on
think
the
I was
initial
gonna make
jest. I
that
fed
cut out
Poe.
the.
Well, no,
It's
no,
kind
I
of one
meant
of my
cut
thought
out like this
processes
and then
is
barrel this way,
Oh
I
yeah,
could
I,
feed
and I
one of my
think you would have been
T70s
out
and
of
then
all the
blow past
yards.
them, if I work my engages right or whatever it might be. Um,
Should.
yeah, he has a range 3.
but other than misjudging the Black One title, that's why I kind of would do that with Poe. I wouldn't feed him into a 6-shot swarm, but I'll take 2 or 3 shots in exchange for one, and then try to move past and reposition for
Well,
a
what
later round or whatever it
do
might
you have a
be.
laser on you?
He has a
I
heavy laser
don't.
cannon and the highest
What do you
PS.
want
If
to
you're
take
not
off?
going to use that for
See
offense,
if he can
then
actually
why
get
have him at all? Kind of like why not have a different T70?
Yeah, that.
And so, I don't. He's very good in the late game, but I,
Oh no, I
I
believe you.
always kind of
Yeah.
presume that a T70 with
Well, I gotta
PS6
practice this for the
is
tournament.
an offensive ship,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've
primarily.
definitely got him. That should be a
Expensive,
range
but not
three
even really that
shot.
expensive.
Should be.
77 points. They're way more expensive ships than that. So,
So
and
against
I
the
can
number
knock points
two.
off of him too pretty easily. So 3
Yep.
blanks out of Stephen
Also
on that shot.
Check range.
should be range three.
Yeah.
Just gonna take a range. I think it's a range 3 there. 2 dice.
I will ride it with two.
You spent all your
That
points, right?
Yep.
yellow Jedi ship is Ahsoka.
Okay, so range one into wedge. Poe.
It's kind of hard to see, but the top pink what is this for dice? So he rolled like 2 blanks, 2 focuses, or something like that. He spends his target lock and rolls
And
into
focus.
4 hits. I'm gonna roll 2 natties here. It's just gonna be helpful. So I'm gonna take two hit points, 2 damage, which is good. Not dead. That's the important thing.
And he's got what, two left?
Two left.
Okay,
Now,
then
to me,
it's
I
your two.
escaped with that
Two, range 3 at
the
that
skin on my
guy.
teeth. Now I got to make this up in the long game, and so it's gonna take me a little bit of time to score some points here.
Let's see, there's probably
So you have
like.
to shoot at a fully modified um,
We're gonna have to
Jedi.
Okay.
mark it because I think you might get it on the angle.
It's gonna be difficult for me to score hits against him. I want to shoot against that back one because it has no mods. That
Okay.
would have been.
Yep. You're touching.
The most advantageous thing I could do. It goes out, so I'm gonna shoot at the
Did you do
modded
it
one.
correctly on the line?
I did. Yep, that's how I've been doing it.
Okay, I just want to make sure that way I could
Sure.
adjust them.
No worries.
This will be 3 dice against 4, since he has the stealth device. And as you're watching this game, remember, he has stealth device and Delta B.
Looks like I'll be losing stealth device. Oh, it's a good roll. No, I
He rolled
won't.
4 dice there, and there's a lot of evades.
Damn. All right.
Gonna enter into the next round of combat.
Okay.
This is where we're both gonna have to gamble a lot. Now, Poe is out of the game for a few rounds because he's gonna have to recover here. I anticipated Steven starting to work on another ship because he's fully healthy and he has the advantage probably in a joust. So I assumed he was coming in to try to take one of my A-Wings off the board, so I positioned Bastian in an area that would make it difficult for him to do that and still get actions.
Yes, miss. Thank you.
He chose to run for reposition. Not a bad idea. He's going to 5 straight all of them and boost all of them and focus all of them.
Boost that way.
I believe that's how that goes. That's going to make it where I'm only going to get 1 shot this next round, although that 1 shot does count for me. Um, I didn't see a lot of good options for my A-Wings here because if they did go into the joust, I think that they wouldn't have been as good as his Jedi's. I'm probably rolling less dice, and he has way more defense, so he could very easily take one of my A-Wings off the board if he would have gone in for the joust. There's a chance that Bastion would have blocked him up there and kept him from, but he would still have the the force abilities or whatever they might be. So there's a lot of benefit for him to go in for that joust, and so I contemplated turning my A-Wings down, and if I would have, I would have caught him, and that would have been good, but I didn't. I 2-straighted both of them just in case I would have a focus, if nothing else, for defense.
Barrel roll.
He's going to boost and barrel roll here. And what's good about that for me is that I'm going to put Talli in a position where she's going to have a modified shot on him, where on Ashoka, where he is not modified.
And then boost forward as our action. Hopefully. Well, this is whether or not I was able to get out of your arc.
Now Ashoka is force starved, has no force tokens left, so had to spend the 1 force for the barrel roll and then his action for the boost. If he would have had 1 extra force, he could have taken another action and been focused here.
Boost with Talli.
Honestly, I probably would have.
So position, that might be a range 1 shot. It's hard to see from this angle, but
You didn't need it. It set you up for
if
next
so,
turn.
that's going to be really beneficial for me.
I have heroic though, so if I blank
Oh
out,
yeah, I forgot you had a rogue on those guys.
fairly okay.
Yeah.
See, I thought about turning down with him. I was like, I better just play it conservative.
Lulu's going to 2-straight here, and he's going to put himself in position just to for a later round. Got to be careful with Lulo. Very, very good ship, but if you put him in the wrong position early, and he can die, and he's a very good late game ship. It's why I think that in this list where you have Lulo and Poe, Poe can be in the initial joust as long as you don't get him 1-shotted, right? And that's what you're looking for at initial joust. That's really all you're maneuvering, right? Like how you're posturing and maneuvering when you're moving into position is, can I put him in a situation where I don't get him 1-shotted, which I almost didn't there. But I think if I would remember the black one, that still would have been very good for me because he would have escaped with 4 hit points or whatever it might be. Even though he escaped with 2. And then Lulo comes in later and plays the late game. Lulo's a much better late game player than Poe, I think, mostly because of the ability to turn the arc and the maneuverability.
All right, so I got a
Range 1 looks like.
Yes, there's a range 1. It's going to be the only shot of this round.
bad roll for me.
And what's important about this shot is that Steven has stealth device. And so I need to remove that stealth device. I got 3 hits by spending the focus. He's going to roll 3 dice. I want to say he rolls... Oh, he rolled 1 evade, so he takes 2 and pops stealth device. That's going to be good for me. Once those things lose stealth device, they're a little,
Gives me a
well, they're
little
a lot
better.
easier to hit. So it's good for me in trying to make up points that I got one of his three ships that have popped stealth device. Entering into the next round, Bastian's gonna Talon roll here, just keeping himself in position. All he's doing is waiting for his opportunity. Bastian's a menace, um, and the reason is because he's got a lot of hit points. And if you let him hang around long enough, he's gonna do a phenomenal amount of
Okay, we're gonna do
damage.
number two first. It's gonna be a 4K.
Again, Bastion's ability is that if a ship at range 1 to 2 takes a damage, then you can target lock on it. Well, late game, he's going to be floating in the middle of
4K.
everything, being a PS2. And so if you're constantly going for the aces, he's going to have that ability to just
Free
kind
bank.
of hang out and then take range, two or three, one or two shots, double modded, and that's going to be bad. Um,
We will spend her charge to
Steven K
boost.
turns his two, I think those are 5Ks. He's trying to feed me
And
the two healthy Jedis,
Alright, so
which is not a bad idea. That's what I do too, because Ahsoka's lost the stealth device, and he knows that I'm after her. So I'm repositioning Lulo with a sloop. I didn't really feel like I had a better move there. If I would have two-turned him down, it would have just made him a sitting duck, and I would have been chasing the rest of the game. So I want to put him in a position where I can have more maneuverability on the next turn. Plus, Lulo
okay, so that's
or
where I'm
Tally's
having
not
to
in
think
any real danger.
long again. I've been thinking
If I just
of
focus
1.0
here,
because it would
then
have
I
me check
have
the
the
stress
advantage. So
step. This is you execute the maneuver, so
because that's
you
a
execute
range
the
2
maneuver
and a range
red
3
when
shot
it's
coming
not
back at
red.
me, and I
The
have
stress step will
modifications.
upon
So
completion
and 3 die.
of
So
the maneuver. Okay, like I said,
it's a
that was
bet I'm willing to
part of the
take.
issue is trying to remember and then going, oh wait, no, that was 1.0.
yeah. Put this on. Yeah.
Poe's trying to work himself back into this game. I gotta be careful with Poe. He doesn't have very many hit points left, but he's still got a PS6 shot with a heavy laser cannon.
So what are you thinking of this one so far?
I like it a lot. I think that this is good for you in that if your dice stay good, you're gonna be fine. And you're playing it really well right now, too. That move down was really good.
Yeah, it reminds me of the
Again, if I was thinking about it, I could have used that
Yeah.
slam there, but I don't think it really would have done me much. But I might have got
So
a
far,
range 3 shot out there
I think you're doing everything right with the two sets.
yeah,
Okay, so
on
we saved
Ahsoka with the
probably
heavy
nothing.
laser cannon, but
And then my 5 here didn't have a shot,
so
so
just that 5.
2.
I get the range 2 from Talli
Then I go. So they have no force.
onto Ahsoka.
No, they have force.
Okay. I'm gonna go after Ahsoka.
Okay.
Range 2.
I roll a hit and a focus, and I'm keeping that focus. There's no way. I think it saves me a couple shields here. He rolls blanks, and so that's going to give me half points on.
Then we'll start with my
That's half points on
five.
Ahsoka.
Number 2.
That's going to bring me
Should
back
be
into the game.
range
That's
3.
helpful.
And 1.
I'm gonna spend my focus there and take none.
Yep. Okay, so
So
now
he rolled 2
range
hits
2.
onto Talli. I rolled an evade, a blank, and a focus. I spent the focus to dodge,
1.
and I roll 1 evade here, so I take 1
Yeah, so are we
damage.
going to be doing that with the...
So, you can have me roll it.
No, no, I'm
All
sorry.
Yeah.
right.
'Cause
So,
I don't
Ooh,
know if
that's the
that's
end
an
of our
actual
shots here. We're going to
rule.
enter into the next round.
But I think it's etiquette. So just let your opponent know at the beginning. So the way that I've always done it is just be consistent. If you always re-roll it when it pops out, just keep doing it. If you
Okay.
don't ever, I usually don't unless it's like jumping all over the table.
Right, no, that's what I said. I couldn't remember if that was an actual rule or it was just like
It's etiquette.
etiquette rules. Yeah. So. Okay, and then your 2 may or may not have a shot.
So, in the position I'm in, I have
Okay, so
I have Ahsoka on the run, which is good. That's
burdens.
one of his best ship, mostly because of her
Hey,
ability
it was
to
good enough that it spawned the sequel.
give out the extra
I'm
actions.
ready.
And I have my other, so I'm going to have Talli chasing Ahsoka here, and I'm going to have the rest of them just kind of position themselves to barricade in Steven, I forget here that he has the
So number
R4 and
three
he has the
for
two.
the
I was
for
thinking
the
as I was picking my maneuvers, it's like, oh, he doesn't have a two-turn
oh,
green, but he has
I
the
have
R
our
from
four.
Astromech, and that gives him the ability to do that.
Like he doesn't have a choose.
So this is a position I was not
I will
expecting to
then
be in,
boost
though.
this
This
way.
is going to be this is going to be my second gamble of the day, and
So that
it works
happens.
for me only because of dice, which is the thing.
Focus.
I made the conscious decision here.
And
He's
then
going
number
to
two
position
is
himself
going to
very
do a two
well
bank.
to have two shots on Poe. And I picked what I picked because I didn't foresee both of those ships turning in like that. I forgot they had the R4 and then that two turn was green. So he's in a really good position.
I
I'm
will
gonna
then
make a
boost it.
gamble here because I know I'm gonna lose Poe
Because
eventually, but I feel like I could
focus.
put him
Who knows? Maybe I
on
can
the
pop off
ropes
Poe
if
here.
I take the
Yeah, I
gamble,
think you're gonna get.
and so I do. And so
Get
he takes the
a
focus
bank
here.
here.
Ahsoka's gonna continue to run for it, so Tally's gonna have to spend her time, chasing it around. But I'm gonna do a good job. The A-wing's
Ahsoka's
just as
run away,
fast,
run
and
away,
so
run away. Too far
as
away.
much as he's running, I can keep up for the most part. Although a lot of it I have to stress myself to do it. But my blues are good enough to catch up. So
Yeah, that may have been a mistake, but we'll have
so
to see.
I'm gonna focus and then
I got a three bank in here with Lulo.
stress.
I'm gonna take the
Can he
focus
boost?
and I'm
Yeah.
gonna
So if you
attempt
fail
to
the action,
boost.
you still get the
Gonna
stress.
fail the boost and I'm going to
You know what I mean?
get my stress.
Yeah,
So it's
That's going to give
beneficial
me my
for
4 dice. I'm willing
Lulo
to
to
do
do
that
that in a
too
lot of cases
because if he
because
wants to
which is
spread his
stressful for both
fire
sides.
and shoot at
ah,
Lulo, I'll take that. If I can
that
if I
seems
keep
cheap.
Poe alive. So
Yeah.
there's a three bank from Talli for the chase. I believe I focus and boost here.
Well, nice thing, both these are
Trying to maintain that range
healthy,
too.
so
Yep. Yeah, they are. That's what's tough about this next move for me.
Contemplated a boost up the board, but I thought that
and it
wouldn't have
also
given me a
could
next
pay
good
badly
turn,
for you
so
on Lulu with
I
that range
boosted
one shot
straight
from
so
the
that
other
I
guy.
could have a
Tight
variety of
think
different
about that.
moves on the next turn.
How much damage is left on Poe? Two?
2 hit points left on Poe.
Yes, that's the only bad thing about the alt art. It's really hard to see.
I know. I really don't like that one too much. I just figured since we got it, I might as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I gave mine to
This is where dice are going to come
Bastian,
into
of course,
play
obviously, 'cause I've never used it.
in regards. Again, the game's evenly matched. It's evenly swingy, but we could both take a beating in one round if we're not careful. And if you see, and this is where I contemplate whether I'm going to flip my card or whatever I'm going to do here or that. The barrel roll, so it's going to be a one straight. I could have barrel rolled, I believe, out to get out of one of the arcs if I
See, you
wanted
know
to,
what
but
would be a good force power?
I was like, I just took the gamble. I said I'm going to
Meditation or
just
something like
try to
that.
beat a
You have to
hole
put it
into
on
that
there, and it
back
gives you
Jedi
additional
because
force.
Poe and
That would
Lula are going to shoot
be
first.
worthwhile
That's
to
going
get
to be
rid of
8
the Jedi
dice
X2
into
voices.
that Jedi. And then Bastion's going to shoot last. So even if I lose Luke, or if I lose Poe, I have a very good chance to kill that back
Well,
Jedi.
I
So
don't.
that's
I'm
a
if
that's a
I
trade
want
I'm
my
will.
prerogative
That's the
here.
gamble I was going for.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a
you
trade I
could
was
probably
willing to
wreck.
make.
Like so, this is a gamble. You could probably wreck me right here.
I could wreck one of them, but you still got dice and you still have shields. Okay, so I think I'm gonna just sacrifice myself here. I'm going to one straight. Focusing target market, guys. Yeah.
Did you hear me?
Well, yeah.
So
Focus the target
the
lock.
two A wings and Poe
You know
have
that's gonna
heroic.
happen here.
All right. So
So the
Poe is gonna
likelihood of
fire
me
it.
blanking out is pretty low,
Oh,
and
you said
so
you
that's
never.
why
I do.
I make
I
this
have
bet. Yeah,
multiple.
it's
Oh,
the
I
odds are
wasn't in your
probably more
arc
in his
heavy
favor
list.
than they
Okay,
are in
that's what you
mine.
meant earlier.
So, it
But
also,
it's still even
I
enough to where
received
I'm willing to
shit
make
points
that
slammed
bet.
earlier, not even took any of that damage. I really forgot I had that card. Remember when I had 2 turns?
Right.
I could have just boosted and then slammed up.
I was talking
Oh
about
yeah, the
the
slam.
black
Yeah.
one, about how I could have earlier
That's how I
just
played Poe.
really not been in this predicament
So,
by
Four
just
dice.
using my slam, but that's okay. So I want to roll natties. I'm just like
Well, don't the
3
units
hits
turn to
and
hits?
a crit
still, yeah.
without having to modify, which is good. I needed that roll.
So,
And it's all 3 shields.
He's gonna take 2 here. So I think he rolled 2 evades maybe.
to fire at this guy. At range 1.
I don't think he flipped all of his. I didn't see that last. I don't know if he flipped all of them. This is Lulo. Lulo's gonna roll. I'm gonna spend my focus here. I'm gonna have like 4 hits on the table, which is gonna be good.
Oh, he got him 2 hits.
I needed better.
So
He's
I
rolling
think
two
the target
dice.
lock Bastian.
Yeah. So he took two. So he has 1 hit away. So the last round, he must have rolled 1 evade,
And then this guy has a
and I
shot.
took 3 shields. And then on this one, he rolled 2 evades maybe, and he took 2 hits, and so he is in the hole. That's going to target lock with Bastion.
All right.
And
Okay,
then
so
there's
we're going to take the range one shot first.
Talli shooting at
Bow,
the Ashoka,
number 3.
and he evaded. Here's his dice. So he rolls a range 1 into pose and rolled 3 blanks and 1 hit. That's good for me. No double mod, so and I rolled 1 evade there.
Okay, I'm going to have to take the second shot into him also.
And then his second shot here, he's going to roll, I believe, a hit and 2 focuses.
Oh, I got to think
Yeah.
about this.
Or 2 focuses and a blank, I think that's what it was. I can't remember exactly.
Yep.
He's going to spend his focus because he knows he's dead. All right, he's
Oh,
going to
sorry,
try to
one.
finish me off, but the likelihood of him
I do
killing me
have,
is
heroic on Poe too, so
small
if I
because I'm
whiff, there's a chance I
focused
can roll
with
into that.
heroic.
Screw it. I mean, if I can take
So-
Poe out, that'll help.
He needs two hits to kill me, and I roll an evade and a focus, and I dodge both of them.
No damage.
So that round turned out pretty good for me. And then Bastion is going to take his double martyr shot at
Oh, no, no, we're
the
going to play it
injured,
out.
the
but
1 hit
I
point
think this game's a
Jedi,
game. I needed to kill
and
Poe
I
there.
finish him off on this shot.
To sacrifice
The sacrifice needs to go both ways. Yeah.
Him rolling blanks on.
And this is what I mean about
That was rough.
Bastion. Don't count him out
That would allow me
because
to do a range
he's
one
7
shot
hit
into the-
points of
Round
a
worked
pain
out
in the
for me. I
butt.
rolled good. 2
And
shots in a row.
and you're gonna get someone in arc. You're gonna get the double mod eventually. Even if you like talent roll and something takes damage and you get that extra mod or whatever, it's really a really efficient chip at 48 points. Steven and I were talking about how on video our hand gestures are so violent. We're not playing angrily. It's just we appear to be.
People don't give Bastian enough credit.
Bastion, and I probably should have 2 turned up, but I 1 banked. I was just kind of sticking them out there for positioning or whatever it might be.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Who's got best name?
Bastion. My number 2 is Bastion.
Oh, I thought that was just a normal guy.
No, that's why I target locked you. Remember when I took the damage card? That's why I target locked out.
I see. I haven't played enough.
Very good.
So now,
He's underrated. He's PS2.
Oh, Bastion's
which makes
ability.
him
He's
tough.
Oh shit! Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah.
now
He's
kind of
such
figuring
a
out
threat.
Bastion. A lot of people don't fly him for some reason, but he's really good.
Yep.
It's going to be a 5K out of his uninjured Jedi. What's good about that is he still has his force modification, so that's good. So
Run away!
Steven is running for it. He thinks a 5 straight, a boost, and a barrel roll is going to save him.
Force.
Unfortunately for Steven, I am just as fast as he is.
Boost. Reaction. Barrel. Yeah, this is almost as.
You're lucky because I almost 2 turned up with.
It's going to be good. I don't know the breakouts of what the game's been looking like since the Republic have launched. Beforehand, the Republic or the Resistance was very powerful. The 5As was very strong. But I think with so many more factions out, probably less people are flying any one particular. Right? The Republic and the Separatists are going to take someone's spot. Right? And it's going to be Resistance, Rebel, or Empire, whoever they might be. So you probably see less Resistance on the table.
That's a barrel, sir.
A barrel.
I attempt to boost.
Whichever one.
Oh.
Whichever one.
Which is interesting to me because I kind of feel like the A-Wings is a nice counter to the Jedi. Of course, if you're flying the PS4, 5, or 5 or 6, especially Anakin, then you have the distinct advantage of the PS. But for the point cost, Lulo and Talli are well worth every penny you pay for them.
And then Talli.
Yeah, it's after you. I forgot they can do that.
And so that's
double
good. That's going to be a good matchup throughout
It's really strong.
the next couple months of. The next couple months of
Really strong.
hyperspace.
I think I like the. I'm gonna flip this card.
Just working on repositioning Poe here, trying to hold on to my 2
Three
points.
straight. Drop my
I'm going to just a 3 straight there to drop my stress. And I believe that's a focus and a boost just to kind of get some distance. I contemplated the black one here too, maybe like another 3 straight or a 3 turn out. I didn't want to give him an easy point with it. I don't want him killing Poe without Poe being able to shoot back. So that's kind of where my thought process here. I've resigned to the fact that I'm probably going to lose Poe some point. I just got to determine when and where and how I want to do that. And you can see, I got my two A wings kind of cleaning up from the two T-70. So if the game works out for me, then I got two T-70s kind of blowing holes in things. I got two A wings chasing down things that they blew holes in. And with this game, which the counter is really good to the Jedi's is because his ships are really fast, and so if I didn't
Yeah,
have
but I'm
fast
bad with
ships, I
this
couldn't
checking it, so
maintain this,
If it is, it's
bombardment
my
onto the
base
ships that I
touching your
injured,
base
right?
with it touching both of them touching the stick.
Yeah, I trapped the one, killed a fully healthy one in one round, but being able to chase down Ahsoka is really helpful for me and not allowing him to stay in the game. So Ahsoka, I
Built me into the last
believe,
fight.
yeah, she has three hole left. I mean, range 3 from Talli, so he's gonna have 3 dice.
Stays with me. 2 days.
I believe that's a hit crit. I believe that's one an evade, maybe. Let's see. Nope, it's no evades. It's 2 focuses. She didn't have one. That's a structural damage. She's gonna be rolling
Okay,
one
go
less
ahead and shoot me
dice.
with your range 2 shot.
Lulo's gonna clean this up here. She has 1 hit
At one
point.
dice.
I got a mod. It's a blank and a focus and a hit, I think, or something like that.
And dead.
And rolls 1 dice into nothing. So
Crit.
hit crit.
Yep.
So now the game is distinctly in my favor, though. I got a couple injured ships here, so I got to be careful on how I play this. And I was talking to Steven about this. If this was a tournament game, I would have played
Of
Poe
course.
here at the end a little different. The game I would have played out the same, but I definitely would have tried to preserve all of my points. I lose a shield. I lose 2 shields here. So Bastian is also about to give up half. He's two shots, 2 points away from giving up half. So he's got half a Poe right now, and I've got the majority of his list gone. That A wing's still really full though, and it's got 3 dice. Or the Jedi's got 3 dice. So got to be very very careful about. It could blow a hole in one of my A wings with no effort, right? So I gotta make sure I play this smartly as he kind of moves in here. It's gonna be a good play by Steven. He's gonna think it's a 3 straight. He's gonna barrel roll in and take a focus, I believe, which is good. But the problem with that's gonna leave him still with a range 1 shot on with Bastion.
Yeah.
So
Well, like I
Bastion's
said,
still gonna be able to shoot
for
back.
the 25 points.
The joust, you got the joust. That joust was yours.
Problem is, it's threes. That's
And
the
see, and
bad
Steven's
thing.
got to contemplate how much force he wants to maintain here over the course of the rest of the game. If we're talking tournament, he needs to score points. So
What's that?
So that's always going to be a consideration. If you're playing Jedi or if you're playing against them, you're going to have to consider, do I spend my force for actions, defense, or offense? That's what's kind of cool about
Definitely spending
the
that.
ship is that
It's just whether
it introduces a new fabric into the game where the utilization of force is very very important. On maneuvering, now the design of the ship's very cool. So it's you can do it for maneuvering, you can do it for actions, you can do it for special actions, you can do it for upgrades. It's all kind of cool stuff they're doing there.
is I don't have a shot on me. Whereas no,
The
my
barrel
barrel
roll in
roll,
here, it's gonna
I
make
can
it. It's gonna be a good
possibly
move.
out
Well,
of your
almost a good move.
arc
If he was out of arc, that would
barely
have been better, but
shoot
at least he does have a shot back at me.
and got you. Yeah, but I got you an arc. That's the beauty of it. And and like I said, right now it's
I'm
reclaiming
moving
points is the thought process.
Lulo into a better position here. I didn't think the 2-turn up was going to put me in a good mood. This is I have the luxury of having 4 ships against 1,
Oh
so
wait, shit.
I can kind of
Forgot I
play a
fired.
long trapping game with him if I play it smart. So
Okay, so I have no way of killing
just
him.
moving Lulo into a position where he will
But I can
constantly be
definitely hurt
behind
him.
that Jedi, or if the Jedi wants to shoot him, he's probably going to have to K-turn, which is always going to give Lulo the advantage. And then
Yeah, I
Tally's
wasn't
gonna,
sure. I think I might
because a
should have
2-turn
turned
in
him this
here,
way.
I want to put that
Well, the problem is, you're facing a
Oh no,
bullseye
little.
no, I meant
firing arc right
earlier when I flew by this
on.
way. Maybe if I turned
He's talking
in.
about that initial joust.
Yeah, that's what I
If
turned
he
into. I was thinking,
for the
okay, well,
5
I
straight
gotta
or
wait for the
joust
next
in was
joust.
kind of the
I think you
call.
did the
I
right
think
thing, but
both of, I don't know that
We'll
there's
be
a
on the
wrong call
defensive the
there.
rest of the day.
He's talking about how he gave
And
me
I
the
had a good
opportunity to get
chance of
behind him, and he
possibly
did.
hammering
His positioning
all
afterwards
3 of them
wasn't
facing
great.
one of these A-wings. I couldn't
But
hammer
even
them.
still,
yeah,
if he
to
would have
me that's
taken
how
Poe off the
I
board when we
usually do it.
gambled, it would have been a different game
She
maybe.
did the work on Ahsoka with 2 dice. You know.
Although I had 3 ships
Because
shooting
it's
back
one of
at
those
that
ones
one. I think
that
it was going to die regardless. But
could have gone either way.
I just took the focus here with Tally. I think it's a 2 bank with Poe. Just positioning, right? Again, I don't want to give up the points
Going
without a shot.
to.
So that's the biggest thing that I'm doing here.
Oh man,
Contemplating if I should boost or
haven't
not, give him a
really
range 3 shot.
appreciated fine-tuned
I
controls
think
till
he.
now.
This is something a lot of players do. He's giving up the fact that he's going to shoot a Bastion.
It's
Fine. If you're
basically
going
a
to let me know who
first
you're shooting
preliminary.
at, then I'm going to play a little more risky with my other
I
ship.
didn't either
In a
because we
tournament,
started
if you're
talking
doing that,
about it
don't
on the
try not. If you keep your table talk down, and I know a lot of players talk about this recently, like kind of juking their opponent by just saying wrong things.
Okay, so
It
My
happens all the
sight still's not
time.
a shot.
People are
Family
listening to what you're
slide,
saying.
soldier slide.
Don't give away what you're doing at the table, but and it's a friendly between me and Steve. We're just practicing anyways. So 1 hit coming from
all right.
I need that extra
Tally, I
die for this
believe,
great one
and
shot coming my
he
way.
gets the 1 evade, so no damage.
So
So I'm explaining him Tally
I'm
here
going to
too.
spend her ability to give whoever you're shooting at an extra dice.
What's her ability?
If you're in my bullseye and I flip my charge,
Just give him a card. I
Yeah.
can't. I'm terrible at explaining things for some
then I
reason.
can
I've been
add an
playing this game
extra
forever, still can't explain things as well as normal human
very
beings
rarely
can.
use, but
Rolls an additional die.
So anyways, it's just giving Bastian an extra
Yep.
defense dice. It's not gonna mean anything. He's gonna he rolls really well here. I think
And I
that's
got
3
save
maybe.
my focus. That's
Oh no,
really
he's gonna
important.
save his focus for defense. I think he rolls 2 hits. I roll like 2 focuses and a blank, so I have nothing. So he's got me half on Bastion now, which is cool. 63 points in,
You can now take a target off enemy foe.
still heavily in my favor.
that's a very
It's
rare.
going to stay that way, but there's going to be this move that's going to happen this
Otherwise,
next round where I'm going to contemplate a move, and it would have been different depending on,
4 dice back at you.
Yep.
the situation. So
2 hits. So
Bastion might have rolled 2 hits there.
one. Okay, stealth device.
Yep, and I
Yep.
popped his stealth device. He
Needed
he
that.
takes 1 from me. That's good. That's what you need to do on this list. Steven's list is really good, but if you pop that stealth device, then you better hope that stealth device pops late in the game, because if it doesn't, then I'm gonna have a distinct advantage. Just kind of move Bastion out of the way and prepare him for the next K turn again. I'm just keeping him flying around menacingly. He's gonna 4K next round. That means that around
Wish I'd gone that direction.
a round or two, he's gonna have another shot, probably double modified at that point. So he sloops. Oh no, he 2 banks here. Yeah, he 2 banks here. I think he takes a focus, I believe. Keeps
Focus.
his
Yeah. I
keeps his
think
force, which is
that's the
smart.
spot I can be at right there.
Gonna Talon roll, not Talon roll, but sloop with Tally here. I almost thought I blocked myself. I was about to get upset with myself. This late in the game, you don't need
Is
to be
that
making
Raul
mistakes
or
like that,
This is Tally.
okay, that's
because that can really turn something in your
that's
opponent's
the one that gets
favor.
the extra mark.
Especially with the game winding down. He's gonna
Very
score a
strong.
ton of
Very,
points
very
here on
strong.
me. If he gets lucky and scores more, another half or another hole on something, then I'm in trouble.
Which is like, so it's why I was thinking I probably should have taken the chance to turn in and fired all 3 of the deltas.
I'm usually
something.
a proponent of killing Lulo as fast as you possibly can, because if you let her stick around, she is so annoying.
Putting Lulo in position here to take a nice range 3 shot. This is so he's gonna have at least two of the A-wing shooting at him, which is good. I'm doing really good about making sure all of my arcs are on the target that I want to shoot, or not all of them, but the majority of my arcs are on the target I want to shoot at. That's really kind of the difference in the game is my shots are going where I want them to go, so I get my percentages high on if something hits or not. Stephen Bachman and I talk about this. We message each other a lot about this, and it's about the statistics in the game. There's like the crates. We're talking about how it's not a dice game. It is a dice game. It's always a dice game. That's primarily what the game is. But the secondary part of the game is how many times do you roll your dice at your opponent. Um, that's really what the difference in most games are. Is that I need to put myself in a position where I'm constantly rolling dice at you. It's a dice game, so they're going to roll blanks a lot, and I'm going to roll hits a lot, or whatever it might be. But the difference in the game is how often am I going to actually be have the opportunity to make that shot. Here I contemplated. I was like, we were talking. He brings the rule book out. If this was a tournament, I would have slammed right into him. I would have, or I would have boosted up and then and then slammed out. It's not a tournament. You kind of want to end the game, make it a little bit better, better video to watch. So I'm going to just focus on target lock and just take the range one shot at him. I got him in bullseye too, so I'm going to get all my dice. Anyways, that conversation I was having, you see right now I have three dice on him. I could have two dice and no dice where he has no dice. Again, if I'm maximizing my potential, then I'm putting myself in a position to win. It's a gambling game. It's a dice game, no matter what. Just like in poker, just like in any other gambling game that you play, the better I put myself in position for the odds to work in my favor, the better chances I'm going to have at winning. And so, um,
No, I take the focus target lock.
he posted a podcast and I was listening to it. And I was like,
And
well,
these guys fire.
it is a dice game. It's all a dice game. That's why the dice are built in. That's why the statistics are the way they are, is because it's a dice game. But the rest of it is just maneuvering and just understanding where the ship could go and where you're at on the board or whatever. But anyways, so yeah, range one here.
Range one.
Again, and I let him talk me into this, and he really didn't. It was make a better video. I'm gonna go ahead and just not slam right into him, not let him have a shot. This is gonna allow him to gain some points on me, but it's also gonna put me in an position to actually clear that um, A-wing off the board right before the end of the game. Maybe the trade-off. I don't know what the trade-off would have been, and I don't necessarily want to crunch the numbers on what that one win would have been, but what's the difference of, let's say, this is going to put me in a position to 200, get 200 points out of them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, there's a good chance that I would never have gotten the 200
Yeah,
points
you
out of
have to
them.
get pulled up. You click
So which
the,
one would be more worth it? To me, not losing ships is kind of always the way to win, but so I rolled like a hit and three blanks, and spent my focus, so three hits on the table. There might have been one evade out there. So definitely damage.
Shoot Talli's
Um,
first, I think.
how many though? Just one? Oh, maybe it might have been two shields. So I stripped the shields off, and I got two shots coming at him. That's good.
yeah.
Not as well as I'd like with four dice. The one blank out there, but the dice gods were in my favor the last time we did this, so I'm okay with them not rolling average. One hit. If he uses the force, that's good for me. He has one focus left. He's going to use for offense probably. Looks like three.
Take one.
Looks like there's an evade there. Oh, it must have been two, and there was an evade there. So, but this is good. So look, now Bastian's gonna target lock.
Yeah, bad die rolls there.
Cool. I
Why are you putting it on your?
next couple rounds, Bastian's gonna turn around, and he's gonna have a double modded shot, and that's gonna be good.
Good roll,
He
four.
rolled really well here, so the dice gods swing back in his favor. Again, the dice game. Rolled one evade, take three hits out of the four he had, so that's Poe. That's going to give him a bunch of points. That's okay, though. Well, again, tournament I wouldn't have done that. I don't know the right or wrong call there, but
Yeah, that's true.
this game's going to go one more round. He's going to sloop here, and I'm going to pin him in with two ships, and I'm going to finish him off before he can shoot. Actually, I think Lulo in the first shot kills him. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the match. The camera setting's a little different. Hopefully it's not as blurry. I know it keeps focusing in and out, but I'm working on that. And then the new score, I put the score up there so you guys can follow on a little better. And then
10.
those subtle changes to noise and stuff
10,
like that. So,
14.
anyways, hope you guys enjoy the
Okay.
match. I'm gonna have this posted
Yeah,
by the
then
end of
never
the
mind. Yeah,
day,
slam
and
it
I
would
will
be
see
better.
you guys in the next
I
match.
didn't realize we've been playing that long. If you still had like 40 minutes left, yeah, it's almost worth it because then you sit down, you go get a drink, and you
Yeah.
de-stress.
Digest a little bit. Alright, so you're 3.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't realize. Yeah. Why does it have to say basic maneuver?
I know. I didn't even really understand base. I guess this means after you.
Well, if I understand correctly, that is not a basic maneuver.
Oh, really? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why they use that wording.
Yeah, the reason why is because bearing, basic maneuver, straight bank turn, advanced maneuvers. Da, 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 da.
Oh, really? Does it say that in there?
Yeah. So a S loop is considered a advanced maneuver. So
Good to know. Focus on boosting myself for that stress. Okay, well, let me go downtown first. Range 3. What do you gotta do? 2 damage?
yep. So it'd be nice if you will blink out.
But I have heroic also. That's what's really good about that. Game.
Game.
Well, it's a tough one.
Yeah. Okay. This needs